Ladies and gentlemen, non-ladies and non-gentlemen, and anyone else that I might have missed there in that little intro, much love to all of you. I'm Andy. I went from depressed and suicidal to living a life of abundance and joy. If I can do it, you sure as hell can too. I am feeling a little bit tired today, so I thought I'd take a little trip down memory lane and talk about some of the moments maybe with my relationship with my lovely girlfriend Imogen. We've been together for 6 years at this point. We like to date women together, have all sorts of BDSM and kink and threesomes and good times. And Immy and I have been together for 6 years, like I said, and there's been quite a few moments during that time, particularly early on, where I'll say it in the romantic cliche movie way, I fell in love with this lovely young woman, right? There are a few key moments where I felt the tingles. I felt like, oh my God, I love this girl. I think there's something here. I think we could build something really beautiful. And maybe these won't be in any sort of order, but I think the first moment that comes to mind where I really thought, okay, this woman has something interesting. You know, she might only be 18, but there's something here. There's some sort of ambition or drive. Was early on in our relationship. She was laying on my couch, and I think we'd just had sex, and we were kind of chilling and vibing and just having a good time. And she said to me, I want to lose weight. And she looked me dead in the eyes and said, I'm really serious about it. I want to lose weight. And I said, cool, okay, like, what are you doing to make that happen? Like, you know, whatever your goals are, I'll obviously support them. You know, what are you doing to lose weight? And she said, I have no idea what to do. I don't know how to lose weight. I don't know what to do. I've struggled with my body and with my weight my whole life, and I don't really know what to do. And I said, download MyFitnessPal and just start counting your calories. And I said it kind of flippantly. I didn't really think that she would take it seriously. Most people don't when they give you advice or when they complain about something or say, I'm unhappy with this. And you say, okay, cool. Like, let's start one baby step to fix it. The vast majority of like normal human beings don't do anything to take action. Most of you listening do usually take action because you're in a self-improvement community. You're like watching self-improvement content. You wouldn't be watching my channel, and I'm sure you're watching a bunch of other channels too about improving. You wouldn't be watching that if you didn't at least have the idea of like ambition or goals or growth mindset or improvement or progress. Like, you wouldn't be here. But most people on the planet don't change. I'll phrase that in a kind of way. They don't know that you can change something that you're not happy with. They think you're kind of just stuck and you have to be unhappy. So I didn't really have any expectations that she would do anything with my advice, but she came back like a week later and she said, okay, I have downloaded MyFitnessPal. Every day I've been counting my calories. I think I've been doing a good job with that. I researched how many calories I think I should be eating based on my exercise levels and my fitness and all of that and my age. And I've been sticking to that every day. What should I do next? And as soon as she said that, I was like, holy shit. I really didn't expect this from you, little 18-year-old, bubbly, cute, sweet, naive little girl. I did not expect this fire or this drive from you. Okay, we have something here. We have something interesting we can work with. And then from there, I gave her I helped her set a bunch of other goals. I said, what do you want from life? What would be cool for you to achieve? What are some little baby goals that you can work on? She ended up working on, the next thing was doing 2 chin-ups and being able to do 2 chin-ups from a dead hang, and she couldn't do a single chin-up. Most human beings, maybe not most human beings, but a hell of a lot of human beings cannot do one. And she was able to do 2 in a row. It took her about 3 months. I'll play the video right now so you can see it on the screen of her doing the little chin-ups. And go. Yep, now crank out the second one. Go, 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 go. And that was a moment where I very, 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 very much started to fall in love with her. And I was like, holy shit, I've just watched this girl train every single day for the last couple of months and really struggle and keep pushing herself and never give up and slowly make improvements and one day be able to do 1 chin-up and then get closer and closer to 2. And then finally on this day of this video, she was able to knock out 2 chin-ups, and you can see how happy she was and how excited she was. And I was happy too. You can hear me encouraging her with the chin-ups with the second one. So that was a moment where I very much fell for her. And I think that was the moment where I realized that she was very ambitious and very into self-improvement and very open to, maybe not change, that might not be the right word, but like improvement. I guess changing herself. She didn't feel like she was stuck. She had all these beautiful goals and dreams and hopes and things she wanted. And this was her first steps into that. And she did a bloody good job. You know, I've said this before. She's someone that has more courage than a lot of my male coaching clients. You know, she later on went on to, again, while she was still 18, she went on to do a 15 Strangers project. You know, she'd heard me talk about approaching women and how fun that was and how much of a challenge that was for me. And we went through my entire log that I had kept when I first did an approach anxiety program. So when I was first learning how to talk to women and hit on them, I had kept a log. I'd done like vlogs, like videos of basically every single day over like 50 days of me learning how to do this. And it was my full-time passion. I was putting like 8 hours a day into learning how to talk to women. And we watched all the videos together and she was so intrigued by it. She was like, holy crap, like I don't recognize you. Like this old Andy is so much less confident than the current Andy that I'm dating. And I want to do something like that. And she wasn't interested in going up to people and hitting on them, but she came up, or I helped her come up with the idea of just finding 15 random strangers. It can be a man, it can be a woman, you know, it doesn't matter, age doesn't matter, gender doesn't matter, and go up and have a conversation with them. And it has to be a 15-minute conversation, which is a real fucking challenge to get a stranger to talk with you for 15 minutes. And she ended up doing 15 of these little conversations. She talked to a couple of men, she talked to a couple of women, she talked to like random strangers at a party that she went to, and she made sure it was like at least 15 minutes. And probably the cutest one was she went up to some old like Greek grandmother who was just like waiting at a bus stop, and they ended up talking for like 20 minutes, and Imogen made friends with her, and this Greek nonna, this Greek grandmother, gave her a little plate of cookies that she just happened to have that she was going to give to her family. And she was like, I want you to have these. You know, you're sweet. You feel like you're my granddaughter. Like, I want to give you these cookies. And Imogen was so like moved to tears by that and shared some of the cookies with me. I thought that was really fucking beautiful and really brave. Again, this is an 18-year-old girl who had extreme social fears and neuroses and anxiety, was not a confident person, was incredibly shy. When I first met her, she wasn't able to make eye contact with me for about the first maybe month or two. And that took a lot of effort for us to like work through and process. Like literally, she was so shy that she struggled to make eye contact, not just with me, but like with men in general, but I think also with people in general, but especially with men. And so this shy little girl who couldn't make eye contact went from that to being able to approach 15 random strangers and have 15-minute long conversations. Could most of you listening say that you could do that? Could you walk up to 15 strangers and have a 15-minute conversation with them? I think for a lot of you, the answer is like, fuck, man, I don't know if I could. And don't feel guilty or ashamed about that. I couldn't have, you know, maybe like 8 years ago. I couldn't have done that. Fuck no. No way in hell. And so that made me fall in love with her quite a lot. You know, this bravery, this courage, this incredible tenacity, and this drive to improve and to do crazy things and all of that. She then went on to go and get a job, and I've talked about this a lot on the channel. She worked in like product design. She was going to university. Sorry, she didn't work in. She was studying product design and learning how to make products and, you know, bring them to market and learning about how minimum viable products work and, you know, designing and all that kind of stuff. And she wanted to eventually work there. And the idea was she was going to go to university for 3 years, study, and then eventually get an internship for a year or two, and then you get paid. That was kind of the pathway forward in her industry. And I said to her, fuck that shit. Who the fuck goes to university? You know, unless you're doing like you're going to be a doctor or, you know, STEM or engineering. I was like, who the fuck goes to university if you're outside of that? You know, why are you going to university? I promise you, you can shortcut this whole thing and save yourself 4 fucking years and start getting paid within the next 6 months, maybe within the next 3 months, if you hustle and push yourself. And she was like, you're crazy. What are you talking about? She went and talked to her family about it, and her entire family are, you know, doctors and people like that who've just gone to university and all of that. And they told her it was a terrible idea. You know, you need to go to university. You can't just get a job. It won't work. It's stupid. She spoke to people in her industry who all said, no, you have to go to university. You can't just skip the queue. You know, everyone else has to go to university, get in line, you know, be a little cog in the machine, shut up and be a slave, be a little bitch who does what she's told. You can't just work in this industry without having a degree. And me being the self-improvement guy, the guy who'd already done by that point a bunch of crazy shit that was supposed to be impossible to me, a bunch of stuff that wasn't supposed to be possible. Maybe the biggest one, being depressed and suicidal and going to fucking prison when I was 19, and then turning my life around and living that life of abundance and joy and peace and love and happiness. Like, that's not supposed to be possible. But I did that. And so I knew that all these people just had limiting beliefs, and that's okay. Most human beings do. Most of you listening do. I still have some limiting beliefs. And so I said to her, why don't we just try it out? You have all these people with their little hot take opinions of like, this isn't possible. You can't get a job in this industry. I know better than you. That's just their opinion. That's just like your opinion, man. And so I said, why don't you try? Why don't you build up a little portfolio? Either do some products, or you've already done products when you were in high school because she kind of messed around with designing stuff in high school. Put a little portfolio together. Take like a month or 2 months or 3 months to do that. Put a lot of time and effort and love into it, and keep working your normal, keep studying your normal study and, go to university and do all that shit. But just start working on this product design thing. And I think actually she ended up taking a break from university at that point, because we said, are you happy there? The answer was no. So we said, why don't you take a year to think about it and take a break? Nothing bad happens if you take 1 year off from university and decide if you really want to do it. Maybe give my pathway a go, where I'm talking about, building a portfolio and just going and trying to get a job even without a degree. Try that for a year. If it doesn't work, that's fine. And so she put together this portfolio, and it was really fucking beautiful. She took about 3 months to do it, mostly because she procrastinated because she was so terrified. And the whole time she had all these limiting beliefs of like, it's not possible. Literally no one in my industry has ever just gone and gotten a job. You have to go and get a degree and then do this for a year and blah, blah, blah. And I said, that's okay. Just like keep working on the portfolio. And if nothing else, you'll have a really beautiful portfolio for, 3 years from now when you do try and apply for a job. Like, you'll have this great portfolio. So she built this portfolio. She printed it on glossy paper. It was so beautiful. It was really, really, really detailed. She spent, like I said, 3 months on it. It was amazing. And then what we did is she researched a bunch of design firms in her area that she could possibly maybe go and speak to. And she got together a list of like 20 design firms that she really liked, and she felt like she loved the ethos, or ethos of. And I said to her, okay, now your mission is to go in there and ask to speak to the boss or the CEO or the director or the manager, and try and talk to the highest person and ask them for like 5 minutes of their time, and take something in there so that you're not just asking something from them. Like, take a coffee, take some muffins, take some donuts, like take something and take enough for all the staff. Like, take like 10 coffees and 10 donuts in there and give it to the receptionist. You give it to a couple of the higher ups and you say, hey, like, here you go, receptionist. Here's a bunch of coffee and donuts. Give these out to whoever you want. I would like to speak to the manager for just 5 minutes about, I'd like to give them my portfolio, and no obligation. You don't have to do anything with it. I just want to meet them if I can. And here's some coffee for them and for you. And she was so fucking terrified to do that. And at this point, all of her family were talking her out of it and saying, this is irrational. You're being stupid. What the fuck are you doing? Her university were telling her this was silly. And like people at her university were telling her this wouldn't work, because obviously the university has a vested fucking interest in you not trying shit like this, because then they get to squeeze 3 years of tuition out of you and make a fuckload of money. It's kind of a conflict of interest there, isn't it? And so she went in anyway, or she sat in her car at the first place. She sat in her car for about 10 minutes outside, just like fucking crying and texting me and being like, I can't do this, I can't do this, I can't do this. And I was like, it's okay. Listen, the coffee is going cold. You need to go in there before the coffee gets cold. Go in there. I promise it's okay. It's going to be okay. The worst that will happen is they are really nice to you and they tell you that they don't have any job opportunities, but they really appreciate the coffee. And she was so terrified. Again, this is an 18-year-old girl doing something fucking insane that everyone around her has told her is insane. All the people older than her have told her they don't believe in her and that she's not good enough and all of that. I'm the one sole person, okay, me and one of my best friends, he also believed in her and gave her plenty of encouragement. So there's 2 people that are believing in her, 2 people that are telling her, yeah, university is a fucking scam, like, unless you're going there for something like, lawyer, engineering, doctor, all of that. All of that's fine, but like the rest of it's a fucking scam to get your money. You don't have to go to university, just go and get this job. So 2 people that believe in her and a bunch of people that don't. She walks in, and the very first place was so unbelievably nice to her and so unbelievably appreciative. And she spoke to the boss, and they were like, holy crap, like, this is amazing. I can't believe you've done this. No one's ever done this in like 10 years of this firm being open. Holy crap, you bought us like cupcakes and muffins and donuts and coffee. Like, you're amazing. We're going to keep your portfolio. And if anything shows up or if anything opens up, like, holy fuck, yes, you're the first person that we're going to call. And to be clear, she offered to work for free as an intern. She said, I'll come and do free work for you as an intern so I can get experience. I want to shortcut my university degree and I want to work for you for free for like a year or something and just be like your slave. I made it very clear to her what she was going in there to say. You know, say, I will do anything you want. I will literally be your slave. I'll literally even just sit in the corner and watch and not touch anything and not fuck anything up for free. Like, you would be doing me a favor. Like, I don't want money from this. You're going to get my undying gratitude and love and appreciation for this. I will come and be an intern for you for free because I'm the one that benefits. And one of my favorite entrepreneurs, Alex Hormozy, I didn't know him at the time, but I follow him a lot now. He's talked about this recently, actually. He's like, the first gym that I ever worked at, I worked at for free because I wanted to learn how to be a personal trainer. So I said to them, yo, I'll come in here for free. Don't fucking pay me. I realize that you are giving more to me than I'm getting or that I could ever possibly give to you. And so let me do it for free. Don't pay me. It's funny because I sometimes will, quite a lot, will get people emailing me being like, hey, Andy, can you please hire me as a video editor? Hi, Andy, like I'm wanting to start my own business and be a video editor. Would you pay me like $500 a month and I can do all your video edits? It's like, motherfucker, like if you want to, this is going to sound like a funny way, an entitled way to phrase it. Don't take it as that. It's not. But like right now, why would I pay someone who has no fucking experience to do like my video editing or something? Why would I pay you? You haven't earned that. You don't have a portfolio. You don't have testimonials. Now, why the fuck would I pay you? If you would like to do something like that, do it for free. And I had a guy that did it for free for me for a while and did a really fucking good job. Why would I pay you when you have no experience? And so basically she went in there the same mindset. She was like, I'm going to do this for free as an intern. I'll just be a fly on the wall and I'll learn from you. And I know I'm getting the good deal here. You're basically giving me a free university degree. So like, I'll do this for free. Anyway, so the first place didn't have any like options for her, any internship spots. The second place she went to said, holy shit, come in on Monday and we'll talk. And she was so unbelievably excited and she was just over the moon and I gave her the biggest hugs ever. And I was like, holy shit, like we don't know what's going to happen on Monday, but like, holy fuck. In the meantime, keep applying to other places. Like keep going in there and doing this. She did it a couple more times, but on Monday, that place said, hey, come in maybe 2 times a week and you can just be an intern. You won't be getting paid, but we will teach you stuff. We'll show you how it works. We'll introduce you to everyone. And she was like over the fucking moon. And I was like, there you go. Look, this is step 1. I fucking told you, you don't have to go and get a university degree. Because again, the pathway that had been explained to her, what had been told to her by other people was you have to go to university, pay all this fucking money and lose 3 years of your fucking life. And then after that, you have to do a 1-year internship where you might get paid, you might not, it's not clear. And then you get a job. And she'd skipped the first 3 years of that now and jumped straight to the internship with no portfolio, with a portfolio, but like with no experience. And so I was like, there you go, here we go, here we go. And so she did that for a couple of weeks and it was amazing. It was life-changing. She would tell me every single week or every day, like, holy shit, this is what I did today. This is amazing. And her family had to sort of eat cake or had a little bit of egg on their face. It's like, see, I told you I could get an internship. I knew I could do this. She didn't know that she could do it, but you know, she kind of said that to them. And a couple of weeks went by and then they said, you know what, you can just come in every day. Like you can come in pretty much like full time. You won't be getting paid, but you can come in full time. She did that for a couple of months and she worked on some really cool products and she would show me all the time. And part of her job, actually, I'll save that bit of the story. So after a couple of months, they said to her, you know what, you're doing such a good job. We're going to start paying you about 25, this is Australian dollars, but you know, the equivalent of like 19 US dollars an hour. And you can work part-time, you know, work like 3 days a week, 8 hours a day, and we'll pay you for like 25 hours a week of like, you know, like roughly 18, 19 US dollars an hour. And I was like, you fucking did it, kid. Like you did it. Here you go. You're now employed. And she was crying. She was so over the moon. She's like, this was supposed to take me 4 years. And I'm now getting paid. And I don't even know what I'm doing. I'm not even like super experienced. I'm learning every single day. They are paying me, you know, almost 20 US dollars an hour to learn. They're paying me for my university degree. And I was like, yeah, I told you it's fucking bullshit to like, that you have to do what everyone else is doing. You can do that if you want to, But like, Jesus Christ, why don't you just skip the queue and in 3 months or 6 months, you can be getting paid from this? And she was so unbelievably happy. And the cool part, the bit that I said I was going to save until now, part of her job was answering people's emails, like answering the company's emails. And all these emails would come in. And she said it was literally hundreds of emails a week from people who had gone through the whole 3 years of university and they'd put together a portfolio and they were applying for a job here or an internship. They were asking for either an internship or a paid job, one or the other. And her job was to reply to every single one of those and say, sorry, we're not hiring right now. And the reason they weren't hiring was because she took the only fucking available job. So this little 18-year-old girl off the street with no fucking job experience, with no university degree, took the job of the people that had gone to university for 3 years and paid all this money and were older than her, like 21, 22, so like more mature, you would think. But she had their job. Why? Because she dared to fucking ask for it and beat the path that wasn't trodden yet. She went off route a little bit. She didn't just go down the pathway of what everyone else had done. She took her own path in life. She took a little bit of courage. And again, it only took like 4 months before she got that internship, maybe like 3 months, maybe 4 months before she got an internship, and about 6 months in total from start to where she started getting paid. Again, like about $20 US an hour. How fucking cool is that? You have no idea. You guys and girls have no idea how much I fucking fell in love with her through that process. This is someone that was more courageous and taking more insane, crazy, wild action than maybe not most, but a lot of my coaching clients. And I would see other people like on the forums. I used to have a forums. The forums still exist, but they used to be my forums. Actually, no, they weren't. I didn't even have a forum back then. I didn't have a website back then. So I was on the Good Looking Loser forums. And I would see so many people complaining and being like, I can't get laid because, I'm short. I can't meet women because I'm bald. I can't change my body because I have a high metabolism. It's too late for me. I'm too old. I can't change my life. All these excuses. And I was like, guys, like, grow the fuck up. There's this 18-year-old girl here who's just doing this wild, insane shit. Doing shit that's supposed to be impossible. I could list like 100 other goals that she worked on. She overcame extreme bulimia and binge eating. She had a very strong bulimic eating disorder, like ridiculously strong. And I watched her go to therapy through that and open up to her family and her mother about that. I watched her like really embrace the darkest, scariest parts of herself and her mind and work through all of that. Holy fuck, this woman had so much courage. And it gave me a new perspective when I would see other men, often grown men, complaining about their life. And I was like, guys, like this 18-year-old girl is not making any fucking excuses. She's just getting out there and she's so terrified. She breaks down in tears so many times. Probably like at that point, she was crying like 3 or 4 times a week from like all her fears, all her insecurities and shit like that. And she would process that and then just get out there and take action anyway. And that really made me fall in love with her. Like, understand, a big part of the reason why Imogen and I are together 6 years, a big part of the reason why I wanted to build this beautiful life with her that we've built together is because of stuff like this, because of how much she just gets after it, how insanely focused on self-improvement she is, how utterly insane she is at taking action and being courageous. On top of that, she's incredibly sexy and kinky and sweet and feminine and loving and generous and kind and affectionate and pretty and like, all of that stuff as well. I really love her energy or vibe, I guess I would say, and how much she adds to my life. But it's a foundation. Our relationship is a foundation of, or built on a foundation of self-improvement. Like our relationship is together because of self-improvement above all else, because she was someone that came to me came to me and wanted to improve from the very beginning. And I obviously want to improve. That's something that's very important to me. So that's what our relationship is built on. I could list like 100 other things that she's done that just showed like such incredible, tremendous courage and commitment. So many doubts and moments she had with our relationship and whether or not it was going to work, whether or not she was going to be able to handle a relationship, whether or not we were a good fit, whether or not we were going to be able to get through lockdowns and all the COVID nonsense and all of the, government, I guess, society authoritarianism, people being locked up, people being told you have to stay in your house, you have to wear a mask, you can't go outside for more than 1 hour a day. All of that crazy stuff that we had in Australia, we really didn't know if we were going to get through that. And she just showed incredible courage and, like I said, commitment to us in the relationship, we both had this shared vision of the future where we'd get to a point where we'd be more peaceful and less argumentative. I've talked about this. We used to argue quite a bit in the first couple of years, especially during lockdowns. It felt like we were arguing basically every single week. We both weren't very happy people for probably like 2 years there. And she stuck by my side, and I obviously stuck by her side too. And it was really beautiful just seeing her grow and flourish into the woman that you see on camera now, because the woman that you see on camera now is not the girl that I met, like, at all. She's grown and matured, probably like 30 years worth of maturity in like the last 6 years. Like, it's insane how far she's come as a person. Again, as I said, when I first met her, for the first, like, I don't know, 3 months, she couldn't make eye contact with me, like, ever. Like, literally couldn't look me and most men and most people in the eyes. She had to get drunk before every time she would come to meet me. There were times where she would get a little bit tipsy or drink, half a glass of wine just to go to university, because she was so terrified of being in public. She was so terrified of like doing a good job at university and not fucking up and not failing. And she was stressed about exams. And she was just a very neurotic, anxious, unconfident, uncertain person. And it's been so beautiful, like, watching her flourish into the Imogen that you all now see on camera, the one who can look straight at the camera and be super confident. She's been like that for the last like 3 years, but it's beautiful to see how far she's come and matured. And I feel really blessed that I got to meet her. I'm incredibly grateful that she's in my life. Like I said, I could probably list another 100 turning points in our relationship where I guess fell in love with her or started feeling even stronger emotions and going, okay, there's something special here. There's, what's that French word? Like, je ne sais quoi. I don't know if that's the right pronunciation, but there's something special here, like the little something about her, the intangible, the stuff that makes me go, okay, let's build something with this woman. And that stuff has only grown over time and gotten stronger over the years. And I'm incredibly freaking grateful. If you guys liked this video and you want me to talk more about maybe some of the moments, the turning points or the pivotal moments where I look back and I can point to it and say, holy crap, I think that is one of the moments where I really started to think there's something special here. I love this woman. I want to build something. Leave a comment below. I'll happily do like a part 2 of this. Maybe some of the other moments, I'll blast through them super quick. I'll give you a little teaser for if you guys want me to do a part 2. We tripped on LSD a couple of times, and there was one moment in particular afterwards where I was just like, holy fuck, I love this woman. I helped her through LSD, like while on LSD, make eye contact with me and be able to make eye contact with people. And literally through that LSD trip, from that moment onward, she was always able to make eye contact with people. It's like, that was it was literally like therapy, basically. I did mirror therapy with her one time on LSD. And you all probably know what mirror therapy is. You're basically looking into your own eyes in the mirror and saying, I love you to yourself. I got her to do that like while on LSD, and that was very fucking intense. The first threesome we ever had, that was a very big pivotal turning point. What else? The 2 times that we broke up for like a day, twice in the first couple of years of our relationship. Those were pivotal moments because we were able to talk through the relationship and figure out like, wait, why did we break up? Because of this. Oh shit, let's fix that. How do we solve that problem? So there's lots of little moments there that have been like pivotal moments. Maybe the time where we both got a matching tattoo to basically commit to the relationship. I could talk about the moment where it was about 9 months into the relationship and we'd just been casually dating up until that point. And we had a conversation with each other and we were like, okay, do we want to like actually build a relationship, like actually be boyfriend, girlfriend and build something and stay together for, ideally the rest of our lives, but, maybe till one of us dies or till fate pulls us apart or whatever. And we had this very deep, very serious conversation. We were like, fuck yeah, let's build something. Like, what does building something even mean? What are we committing to here? What do we actually want? What is our shared vision of the future? Do we want to come up with like almost not quite a contract, but like flesh out what our deal breakers are, flesh out what we want, flesh out what the relationship would look like. Like, I can talk about that conversation if you want. So if you want a part 2, let me know, leave a comment down below. I will run the little coaching outro at the end of this video if, coaching is something that you're interested in. If you love the idea of having a relationship like what I've built with Imogen, and it's been a very intentional building, like, understand we have built this relationship. We didn't just accidentally get to this point. It's been very fucking intentional. If that's something you want yourself, I help men and women achieve that and live those relationships of abundance and joy. You're welcome to join the coaching program, link in the description below to that. Or if you just want to get your little penis or maybe your big penis wet or you want to get that little fucking, or maybe that big fucking vagina nice and filled, you know, you want to have a bit more of a exploratory sex life, I can help with that. You want to start a business, absolutely help with that. Whatever your goals might be, we would love to have you in the coaching program. We got payment plans and all that beautiful stuff. I'll leave a link in the description below to that. But I'm very grateful to Imogen. Like I said, if you want a part 2 on this, I would love to do that. I'm very glad she's in my life, and I think we've built something quite beautiful together. And when I reflect back on those early moments in the relationship, the moments where I first felt like I was starting to fall in love with her, I have such incredible like nostalgia. You know, I almost want to cry right now when I think about it. Those moments were really fucking beautiful. Like the way I felt when she got that internship, and then when they said, we're going to pay you, and the way I felt when she did those 2 chin-ups, and when she first started her very first goal of like weight loss, and when she was able to be courageous and talk to 15 strangers and work through her bulimia and learn to love her body, which was something she really struggled with as a bulimic, you know, as just an 18-year-old girl as well. Man, like, it's really beautiful. And we've achieved so many more things since then. She's done such incredible things. You know, she's won a $6,000 art prize, you know, and her doing art was something that she was always terrified of doing and putting herself out there. She's done so many things in the last 6 years, and I'm constantly waking up completely in awe of this wonderful woman. And I'm very grateful and glad that she's here with me building this beautiful relationship. So as always, ladies and gentlemen, go out there and crush your goals. And if a relationship like the one that I have with Imogen is something that you want, I promise that it is possible. It is absolutely possible to build a beautiful relationship where you don't argue, you don't fight, it's super peaceful, it's nothing but loving. You tell each other every day like 50 freaking times that you're grateful for each other. You just look into each other's eyes and you cry sometimes with joy, and you don't need anything. You don't want anything other than whatever the person is currently able to give you, and you're just grateful for everything. You don't have any expectations of them. You don't even expect them to be there, and that means that you're grateful every single day that they are there. I promise you that's something that's possible. You know, a non-needy, beautiful relationship built on abundance. You are all capable of that. I promise you. If this beautiful fucking beautiful, bold retard who really doesn't know what he's doing and was depressed and suicidal and went to freaking prison when he was 19 and was really insecure and felt like he was too old and it was too late for him, and he went through 2, you know, unhappy, miserable, you know, relationships when he was in his 20s. If this guy can do it, I really, really, really promise you, you are all capable, you are all worthy, you are allowed to have a beautiful relationship of abundance and love. I promise you, you can do it. You're allowed to do it, and you are worthy of having it. How long are you going to wait before you demand the best of yourself? These guys didn't wait. They joined my coaching program and gave themselves the life that they've been dreaming of. Taylor had a threesome, tons of sex, learned to be honest with his intimate partners, and fully embraced a more peaceful, happy, and loving mindset. Laz more than doubled his income from $25K to $45K a month, as well as having more sex than he could handle, all while fully embracing honesty and authenticity. Corky learned to love himself instead of always beating himself up. Oh, and he had a threesome, sex with 7 women, and started his own business. Want to do what they've done? Join our coaching program, and I and the other coaches will pour our heart and soul into giving you the life that you've dreamed of. No more waiting. Now is the right time. Link in the description below.